Hello, this video is going to be an overview of Google Images. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to be addressing it as if I'm addressing a classroom full of students who are using Google Image to help with a vocabulary assignment, similar to the one that I have in my lesson plan for this class. Google Image is a great way to locate realistic images or clip art images for vocabulary words, and it's also a great way to make a personal connection to vocab words because students can look through a variety of images to find the one that maybe is a bit more that's the most appealing to them, that they can make the best personal connection to, and it's very user friendly and very easy to access. There's two different ways to get to Google Image. First, you can just do a regular Google search. I'm going to do one for one of the vocab words for the unit, indelible. Spell it right. So I've got the dictionary definition and all the different websites that would take us to similar definitions. I'm going to go up to the top, past news, books, and click on images. And now, just from this point, I've already got several images that would go along with indelible. The first thing that I would do before you even look for images is to actually define your word. That way, you just know. That way, you know what the word means, and that way, you know you're not picking an incorrect picture or something that's not clear. Yeah, with the definition for indelible, it says, for example, of an ink or pen making marks that cannot be removed. So right there is my definition. So I know that any of these images would be good to use. So I've got the can't be erased image right there. I've got the hand with the ink mark on there. Um, Obviously, you want to, just because you see this right here doesn't necessarily mean that you can use any image that you want. This is a pretty good image. I might be able to figure out that the word indelible means a mark that can't be removed just because I've got ink marks all up and down the woman's neck, but it is not really, it doesn't tell me what the actual word means. I can't figure it out from this. The image right here, the fact that something cannot be erased, that's a pretty good image to be used for the word indelible. Now, the after you find the picture that you're looking for, what you're going to do is you have to somehow get the image onto your Google Doc, which I'm going to show you how to do. You're going to click on the image. You're going to right click. You're going to open the image in a new tab. It's okay that the image is a little bit smaller here because you're going to be fitting it into a pretty small box in your vocab assignment. So what you're going to do is you're going to copy the image. I'm going to take it to a Google Doc here, and then I'm going to right click and paste the image right there. Okay. And what I can do as well, if you click on the photo itself, you can actually adjust the size of the image however you'd like. You can make it smaller if you so choose. You can make it bigger if you so choose. You can rotate it around if you so choose. So however you'd like to size your image, you can do it on the Google Doc. So a couple different options for this. This one was pretty straightforward, but suppose I wanted to find a particular type of image. Suppose I wanted to look for clip art, something that might have been like a bit of a kind of a cartoonish image. What I can do is I can go to the tools option right there. And if you look, there's a couple different options pop up. If I want to say look for different sizes of the images, say if I wanted to look for images that were just small enough to fit onto my page, I don't have to worry about resizing. I can click on where it says icon. Now, if you notice, this does eliminate a lot of my options. And that's kind of that can be a bit of a problem with the size option. It might eliminate some options that might actually work a lot better. Um, you might want to just keep it on any size just to make sure you're getting all of the images that you might need. Back here. I could just go, try this again. I could just go all large images. Again, there's a bit of a change, but there's some of the similar ones that from the first search did show up. Or I can just go medium. Again, similar images show up as well. And the fact that you can resize your images really makes things not much of an issue for this particular part of it. If I want to go color, say if I want to just go black and white images, I can do that. Switch the size back to the default. Okay. Um, the usage rights, if you filter things out by license, you want to make sure that if possible that you've got not filtered by license, because this will maximize the amount of useful images that you've got. If I say click on this tab labeled for reuse or anything that's labeled for reuse with modification, if you look, none of these pictures really now tell me what the word indelible means. A lot of those other images, if I got rid of the black and white, just hit any color, again, most of those images that I saw the first time around have now disappeared, and now what's left really isn't all that great for defining your word. So, if possible, keeping the filter on not filtered. That'll give you the maximum amount of images that you'll be able to use. Don't worry about the fact that it's not filtered by license or anything. Nobody's you're not trying to put this on a T-shirt and make money off of it, so don't worry about that. Also, for the tools, you could do the type. You can look for GIFs. This is not going to really apply much for us, but you can look for, so these are GIF images if you want to make a bit of a connection there. Again, not sure what's going on there, but if that is an option for you. You could also go the clip art route, and I will tell you that this can work better for certain words and not others. Indelible was a pretty easy one to find with the regular images, but certain words such as like processes and things like that tend to get a bit more hits with the clip art as instead of just the regular image search. But if you're looking for more of a cartoony style drawing, bit more artistic choices, then you go to the clip art option. Any type is just going to give you some of the more realistic options first, to maybe some of the clip art options after that. Oop, no videos there. You can also search the images by time. If you're looking for anything new, you can look for anything from the past year, the past month, the past week, or even the past 24 hours. So this can be good more if you're looking for kind of recent news images, things that have come out within the past week or so. Say if you're on like a social studies assignment and you want to look up an image from a news story that happened within the past week, or even within the past, say if you wanted to do a news story on the coronavirus that had just happened within the past week, you can look that way, and just those images will appear. And so it's again, to get the maximum amount of images, you want to click on any time. But depending upon the circumstances, you might only want to look back for a certain period of time. And you can clear these out in any case. Okay, so that's the basics of Google Image. Again, very, very lots. You've got lots of different options here to pick out words or vocabulary where you don't always have to go with the first one that you see, even though this one actually is a pretty good one that does work for our purposes. You can look down. That the images do tend to get further and further away from the words you're looking for the more you go down. But even as far down as this, I've got an image that could more or less tell me the definition of indelible just by looking at it. Okay, so use Google Image as you can. Again, take your time. Don't just settle on the first image that you see. Make sure you're doing the definition first and finding the picture that goes with it using the Google Image. And best of luck.